Flipendo Challenge. Collect the challenge stars. Find 37 beans, 3 save game books, 3 secrets, earn 20 house points, find 8 challenge stars, and encounter 3 enemies.
Hold down the mouse button to aim the Flipendo spell. Release the button to cast the spell. Try it on that barrel.
What I wanted to say before Professor Quirrell rudely interrupted me is hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Zelgaris115 speaking, and I hope you all have a lovely 2nd of December. Now, we could follow his instructions, but actually Professor Quirrell has much more to share with us. The problem is, there's a line he'll repeat 95% of the time, and then there are 2 lines he's very unlikely to say, but I'm gonna keep bumping into him until he'll spill the beans.
Flipendo can be used on all sorts of objects.
True.
Cast Flipendo on that barrel to knock it down the hall.
Hearing you loud and clear. And your final nugget of wisdom?
Flipendo can be used on all sorts of objects. Cast Flipendo on that barrel to knock it down the hall. If a spell symbol appears over an object, it can be affected by magic.
Finally, he said it. Do you now see on screen what I mean by random chance of saying a certain line? Thankfully, Quirrell is the only offender like this in the game, and only in this particular level. So we're not gonna have the problem anywhere else, but we're gonna have the same problem with him later on in the level. Anyway, let's get a move on. So now that we know our first spell, to be honest, you don't have to select it or anything like that. The spells will now contextually appear on certain objects, like the barrel. Now the Flipendo symbol is there, and the moment you release, Harry will cast Flipendo, or you can aim elsewhere and not cast anything if you so desire.
Flipendo!
There we go, immensely satisfying.
Flipendo!
And again. Wow, look at the speed of that barrel. Cool, so we're done here. And we're essentially gonna learn all sorts of objects that are to cast Flipendo at in this level. That's the point of this exercise, and also behind the grate we'll see a challenge star. Now, if we collect all 8 challenge stars, we are going to receive 20 points at the very end. Any less than that, and it's going to be 10 points only, although I think it's possible to get even less than that or nothing, if you somehow intentionally avoid picking them up, but that shouldn't happen. Now, we can just enter where Quirrell is, or we can enter like a boss. First of all, fall into this bit here, because there's a secret shortcut back, and no, this, well, I believe does not count as a secret, but I just want to show you.
Cast your Flipendo spell at the switch on the wall to open the door. Flipendo affects all sorts of things, such as this cauldron. Knock it over, Mr. Potter.
Sure, but first I want to squeeze 4 unique lines out of you, and I'm afraid we're gonna have the repeat of what we had at the very beginning of this level.
Once you've opened the door, continue the challenge.
Okay. Let's alternate and cast Flipendo on the cauldrons. Every single cauldron in this game is gonna give you 3 beans. There are no variables to this, just in case you're interested. Okay, what else?
I suggest you figure out how to cross that bridge next.
Yeah, that's fair.
Flipendo!
We've seen the bridge, and we jumped into the pit underneath it, but we did not cross it. Now we still have a cauldron over there, and a symbol over here.
I suggest you figure out how to cross that bridge next.
Oh boy, here we go again.
I suggest you figure out how to cross that bridge next. Flipendo affects the switch and the cauldron.
Thank you. So now that gave us an idea to cast on the switch.
Flipendo!
Once you've opened the door, continue the challenge.
Okay. Good, I'm happy. So that's all the lines we wanted to squeeze out of Quirrell. By the way, I don't think this is really possible without the mod I'm currently running, but let me teach you how to cast and jump. Almost. Oh, come on, Harry. You were able to do this before. Maybe from the top of this cauldron. No, that's too far. Yeah. This is trickier than I imagined.
No!
I swear to you, I managed to pull this off before. Okay, now we can't even jump on a cauldron.
Flipendo!
Well, anyway, we're gonna get to that cauldron from another angle. Using that switch, and by the way, we'll be seeing a lot of Flipendo switches from now on. We've essentially turned the bridge, meaning we can cross it, collect a challenge star via the grate that just opened. And by the time we cross it, we will find ourselves next to that cauldron, okay?
Flipendo!
Much better. Not sure why that didn't work this time. Anywho, the final switch.
Flipendo!
Well done. Now, go on and collect your challenge stars. I'll meet you further on.
Well, he seems to mean well, at least, for the time being.
You may cross the bridge now, Mr. Potter.
Yeah, one final unique line. So that's it. We're done with Quirrell's randomly generated quotes. Finally. That was a nightmare. Okay, and on to the next challenge star. Notice how even the wood shines. It's... ah, man, I love this renderer so much. When I was young, I used to play that everything that's not covered by carpet or dark textures is lava floor, and I would die if I was to touch the stone. Come on, guys, surely I wasn't the only one. You also used to play like that, right? Just avoiding the stone steps and moving on carpets exclusively, thinking this is gonna kill you. It's a lava floor. No, just me? Ah, let me know anyway.
Hello, Harry Potter. I am nearly Headless Nick, the Gryffindor House Ghost. Now, this is a save game book. When you touch it, your game will automatically be saved. The game will restart from this point if you faint. You can also load a saved game from the main menu. Goodbye.
Now, Sir Nicholas here did say goodbye, but...
You can also load a saved game from the main menu.
he has 2 unique lines to give us, not just a
Search
repeat.
everywhere, Harry. There are secrets to uncover, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
No one takes you seriously when your head's unhinged.
I like Nick. We're gonna bump into him 2 more times in this game, and actually the final time we will, he's gonna be incredibly helpful, and oh my god, he's just hanging behind that wall. This is absolutely terrifying. Oh, you can see his head is unhinged, although he does look headless to me. Nevertheless, what Nick introduced us to is a save game book. Now there are going to be a couple. I believe there are 3 in this level. But before we engage with the save game book, just in case you ever have to repeat something, the general rule of the thumb: do everything else in the room and then save. It's going to save you time. And over here is a new destructible object. A vase! These are either completely empty or contain 1 bean. Nothing more. Now, it doesn't matter which of these 2 switches you will hit. With Flipendo, it's always going to be the door and then the iron grate opening, okay? And now that we did that, let's save. Again, still maintaining the rule of the lava floor. Oh no, we touched it. Ah! Okay. Up the carpets we go. Ah, the door's closing after us. There is only 1 door in this game which would open automatically. I mean, 1 door exactly like this. And it feels like such a privilege when we finally find it. Because it does seem to open for all the other characters, just not for us. Now, where we are essentially is a... Well, see, here is the problem with the game telling us during loading screens how many secrets we are gonna find, because you have no bloody way of knowing what the developers mean is a secret and what they just mean is a conveniently hidden reward, right? So, what's behind this grate, openable via 3 Flipendo switches, might as well be a secret, but we'll never know. There are 3 other candidates equally as secret in this level, which could constitute secrets. So, in my opinion there are 4, but in the opinion of the developers there are 3, so we just have to decide what they thought is a secret. Again, the game not telling you when you found a secret is a cardinal sin. And maybe it was exceedingly difficult to program it and to have it display on the report card. But at least play a sound effect when you cross a certain threshold, just like Tomb Raider games did. That's all it would take. But no, nothing. We are left to our own devices trying to figure out what the hell is a secret and what isn't. And there's gonna be a much bigger offender of a level later in this game, where the number of secrets is simply less than the actual secret areas in the level. Anyway, what do you have to say, Professor?
Cast your Flipendo spell on this block to knock it out of the way.
Okay.
The block can be moved, but only so far.
Alright.
Run towards the block and don't stop. You'll climb it.
Okay, let's put that to a test. Ah, he is right. This is the auto climb that's in fact.
Flipendo!
Okay. And on we go. Watch out for the lava floor. Okay, so 2 vases with breakables. We're now getting the gist of the destructive force of Flipendo. Let us save. Not that we'll need it. Come on. We're professionals, aren't we? Ooh, and this is where we want to go, but there doesn't seem to be a direct way to do that. Not yet, anyway. Okay, can you do this, Harry, please? Thank you so much. Okay, we've set up a block to what is essentially, in my opinion, also a secret, but again, we'll never know. And by hitting the switch over here, we will open it. What I really appreciate is that there was no cutscene showing us that this has opened. Because one area where this game suffers is an overabundance of cutscenes wresting the control away from you. And I think it really is derived from the philosophy that children's games need hand-holding, and it couldn't be any less away from the truth. Okay, so let's make it through the terrifying corridor of doom. What makes this scary is not just the fact that it's a pitch-black void under us, but it's the sounds in the distance. Moans and laughter that echoes. And there's something... well, I was about to say unnatural about it, but I mean, that's the whole point. See, did you hear that guy laughing? This is what I'm talking about. It's horrendous. Now, there are a couple of points where hitting the Flipendo switches actually helps save up time, and other where it can kind of screw you over, but I think I found the right balance. Okay, now unfortunately we have to wait. I'm sure some speedrunners know of a way to come here, pick it up, and still jump back onto the platform, but I'm simply not that good, even with this updated control scheme. Okay, I think we can already hit that switch though. You don't have to be aligned perfectly, you can even hit them from the side, which I really appreciate. Okay, now, I know it's very tempting, but do not Flipendo the large block from this angle. If you do, it might get stuck permanently and you won't be able to move it further in this direction, which is the direction you actually need. Ooh, wow, as it was falling down you grabbed it. Nice job, Harry. May I just say how much I appreciate the red and blue lighting based on the color of the beans next to the star? I mean, that was such a wonderful detail. And now, this one is fairly obvious, right? Just don't touch the Flipendo symbol until we make it to the very third and final platform. Christ, those ghost sounds.
Flipendo!
Why do certain people in this universe become ghosts, and then why doesn't anyone care or help them pass along to the next life? Or it's just... oh, never mind, I'm overthinking. Okay, what matters is that we are heading into the final room of this challenge, so let us save.
This is a gnome, Mr. Potter.
Gnome. A common garden pest. The gnome lurks in holes in the ground and may run out and attempt to trip up the unwary traveller. Can be ejected from the garden by swinging it in circles and flinging it over the garden wall.
Then you grab hold of them and spin them round. And chuck them out of the garden.
They like to pester young wizards. Knock him on his backside to complete the challenge. They move quickly and can be quite a nuisance.
That's quite the understatement. Did you know that these little guys, if they so much as touch you, you will drop your carefully collected beans, and they will steal them permanently. This filled me with an unimaginable dread when I was a kid. And this was back during tank controls when I would have to move, slowly turn around, then start aiming the wand like this, hit Flipendo, and hope the other gnome's not gonna see me. This room was an absolute nightmare fuel for younger me, and with the old control scheme. But with the new one, it is an absolute breeze. I guess to offset the fact that the game is now easier, I really want to make sure we do not take damage a single time. Okay, and there we go, 8 challenge stars, that is all there is to it. And the moment we talk to the professor, we are gonna be awarded with 20 points for our efforts.
Congratulations, Mr. Potter. You completed the challenge. You collected all the challenge stars. 20 points for Gryffindor. Now, hurry on to broomstick practice.
Okay, so this was 20 points for Gryffindor. And I mean, they're not even pretending. Slytherin is at 126. They almost doubled the points we got, and we got the maximum number of points. I mean, is the heir of Slytherin eating up all the Mudblood students so that there's no one else left to get the points? Or what is going on? Yeah, get used to this. To be honest, this I find incredibly entertaining because I've never seen such a drastic increase of Slytherin points, and I'm very curious to see if at the very end we'll still win the House Cup, because at this rate, unless it will artificially stop at some point, maybe we'll get the House Cup, but Slytherin will still end up with a higher number of points. We'll see. So anyway, that's all there is to the Flipendo challenge. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time tomorrow on broomstick practice.